All right, let's jump right in. There's a huge question making waves in the music world right now. Is the K-pop label a powerful brand that helps artists take over the globe? Or is it actually a box that kind of holds them back? Let's get into it. So, with the 2026 Grammys not too far off, the conversation around artists like Rosé of Blackpink and the new group Katseye has just, well, it's exploded. And the real question behind all the buzz is this. When a huge institution like the Grammys looks at these artists, does that K-pop label help them or does it actually hurt their chances? You see, the core of this whole debate is trying to figure out what K-pop even is today. It's not so simple anymore. The genre is constantly changing. It's blending with Latin trap, it's mixing with European electronic music. It's just absorbing all these new sounds and really pushing its own limits, which makes a single, easy definition almost impossible to nail down. And that's the real tension here. It's like a double-edged sword. On one side, you have the undeniable brand power of K-pop. I mean, the fan bases, the whole system, it's incredible. But on the other side, you run the risk of it becoming a genre box, where Western institutions just kind of compartmentalize it. So the big question is, which side of that sword is sharper? Okay, let's make this real. A perfect case study for this is Rosé of Blackpink. Her solo song APT was a massive global hit, and it perfectly highlights this whole challenge of how to categorize these artists. So APT is this fascinating hybrid, right? Rosé is, without a doubt, a global K-pop idol. But this song, it topped charts all over the world with a sound that relies heavily on English lyrics and a very Western pop production style. So you have a K-pop star creating a track that doesn't really fit neatly into that traditional K-pop box at all. And people absolutely noticed. Just look at this, a huge spike in Google searches for Rosé APT Grammy right after the song dropped. This shows it's not just some niche industry talk. Everyday people are seriously debating where this massive hit belongs and if it has a real shot at a major Grammy nomination. This quote right here just nails it. The song's DNA, its actual sound, is international. It was basically made for a global audience, which makes any attempt to just file it under a single regional genre label really complicated. And that puts the Recording Academy in a really interesting spot. So what do? When a song from a K-pop star becomes a global pop hit, where does it go? Does it compete as K-pop, as general pop, or does it get lost somewhere in the middle? Now, if Rosie is an artist bending the rules, let's talk about a group that was basically built to break them from day one. Katseye. They weren't just adapting to the global stage, they were literally engineered for it. Katseye is a really unique experiment. They're a global girl group born from this huge collaboration between Korea's HYBE and America's Geffen Records. So they used that famously intense K-pop training system, but their target audience was international right from the very beginning. And this is the model they represent. The global hybrid. It's more than just music. It's a whole strategy. It's about mixing cultural influences, marketing plans, and talent development from all over to create something that's meant to go beyond any single country's borders. Which brings up a pretty fundamental question, doesn't it? If you specifically engineer a group to be a global pop act, is it even accurate to slap a regional label like K-pop on them? Does that label really capture who they are, or does it actually misrepresent them? So to figure out where this might all be headed, we have to look at the Grammys' track record with K-pop. People often describe it as an evolving relationship, which, is a pretty polite way of saying it's been complicated. Yeah, this timeline really puts it all into perspective. You had artists like BTS achieving just unbelievable global success, right? Breaking records, changing culture, and yet when it came to the major general Grammy categories, their wins were limited. As the Associated Press pointed out, the Academy has seemed pretty slow to fully get on board with K-pop's massive influence. So the real question now is, could 2026, with artists like Rosé and Katseye, finally be the turning point? Okay, so let's bring it all back to our big question and what it means for the upcoming awards. Is the label a box or is it a brand? The answer could seriously shape the future for these artists on music's biggest stage. So let's break it down one last time. As a brand, the K-pop label gives you a fiercely dedicated fan base, a super sophisticated production system, and immediate global recognition. But as a box, it risks getting you compartmentalized, being seen as niche, and running into limitations with the Grammys, which have historically overlooked international acts for those top prizes. In all of this, the conversation about Rosé, about Katseye, it really points to a much, much bigger question. In a world where music just flows freely across borders and cultures are constantly blending together, what does the future of genre even look like?